It wasn't there. It wasn't there. All right. Aurora, solo laner, full defense, B tier. Just annoying, not really a game changer. Chimera, probably your best jungler. That is an assassin. Can be played. Has to be built hybrid. Wraith, S tier. Hyper annoying. Play him as a mage. Play him whatever role. He's like the last ADC that actually still gets through. It's him and Sparrow that still ever get through right now in real games. Howitzer is the best mage that's going to get through. For mid lane, wouldn't play it anywhere else unless you have to. Decker is the best support in the game because her ultimate is completely broken. It will get you at least one kill and should win you every single team fight. Seraph is extremely average. Build full tank, play solo or jungle, mainly solo. Don't really recommend her in the jungle. She doesn't have the CC or really the damage in my mind. She's just really annoying by being in your face, pressing left click. Gadget is the best mage in the game. Free damage, free poke, good team fight ult. The Fae, pretty low tier. Would rather play with support. If everything else is taken and you have Rangers on your team, you can play the Fae. She can play setup and get carried by the Rangers. If you don't have Rangers, you don't have carries on your team, don't play the Fae. It's pointless. Narbash, I don't know if I'd put him S tier. I think he's really good, but I'd probably put him A tier. His healing is sick, but anyone who's good is going to be like, oh, they have an Narbash, we're all going to build anti-heal, and then he's going to be worthless because he's just going to have a doo-doo ult that can be interrupted and one CC ability. Revenant, I think Revenant is probably SS as a ranger in the jungle. I don't know about in lane. In the jungle, you can run around. He's the best jungler by far. You can run around and solo anybody because the Q does half health, and when you're in the jungle, it's not going to be eaten by creeps and shit in the wave. It's also easy to gank because you force them away from their wave, and then you Q them. It's like the highest damaging ability, I feel like, out of the jungle. Kalari is really low tier. Probably B, almost borderline C when you're comparing it to tanks and rangers. The ultimate, we talked about this a second ago. You ult and you stand still for 2 seconds and do damage. If the person beads and walks away or you get CC'd, does no damage. If the person uses some kind of CC immunity or something to move away from you, you stand still for 2 seconds, just swing it in the air. It's fucking trash. They need to rework Kalari. They need to rework Countess, and they need to rework Shinbi or buff the hell out of them. I don't know. I don't know what they're going to do. Muriel's pretty low tier. She's all right if you have enough frontline out of the jungle and the solo. If not, I'm gonna keep her B tier. Even if you had double frontline every game, I'd put her A tier, no higher. FaZe, really good support, kind of low tier damage. She's annoying because of her blind. It's super strong. Her overall kit and her pool can kind of make up for not being another frontliner. Because you kind of put them right in front of your guys, you get free kills off of it, but most of the time she's not doing enough, and she's kind of a little bit lower tier. I'd rather have a Decker any day of the week. Murdoch's the best character in the game. Mid, solo, wherever. Self-peel, global ult, very high damage, insta-target, Q ability that can't be missed. It's really, really OP and kind of unmatched. Rampage is the best frontline. He's biggest in-your-face character. He's got high mobility. He's got a broken ult that keeps him alive when you're building full tank, and he's got really good CC that's easy to land. Gideon, I'd say if Gideon's ult could be interrupted, I'd probably put him S tier, but since his ult is going to get interrupted, there's no reason to play him unless you're playing against bad players, or somehow you're going in with your team going in, and the end, like your positioning and everything doesn't even matter because you're in the middle of the fight when you're ulting. You just need the other team to not look at you. So your team would have to be doing enough to make it so they never looked at you. It's never going to happen in a real game, maybe in a baby game, but Gideon's going to be A tier. I think Fang is pretty good, but the fact that he lacks real hard CC kind of brings him down a little bit for me. He is hard to kill when you build tank, and he does have that execute. If that execute was % damage rather than health damage, so it's like if you're at 300 health and you execute, you get the execute, you get to do it again. It should be percentage, it should be like 30%, 40%, so you can kill tanks with it. His shield is his best, really, part of his kit. Keeps him alive, really OP. Counters gadget, actually. That's what Mindy was telling me yesterday when he played it against it in mid lane. Really, really good. Grux, your second best front line next to Rampage, probably has the best peel in the game with his Q. Can multi-peel off of a carry very, very easily, and then has a stun in his ultimate. I think a lot of people want to build him full damage, me included, but it doesn't work out as well. Just go hybrid, go tanky all day. Severog, I'd probably put in A tier. I think he's kind of lackluster outside of if you're really, really good at ulting. If you're getting fatty ults off, you can win team fights for your team. If you're not, you're probably worthless. Belica's more of a support than anything. I don't really think she's good, man. Like nothing about her is good. Nothing is better than everyone else. You can throw her into B tier for being annoying, but overall, you're not going to want her on your team. Damage is pretty meh. There's no real part of her kit that is great for support or mid. Probably leave her right there. Twin Blast going to be your second best character probably in the game. Maybe tied with like Gadget. Just another ranger. It has mobility, so it's the safest ranger while also having really high damage and being very easy to play. Sparrow is a ranger. I think she's good, but everyone that says she's not, she's like the worst ranger, so I'll put her in A tier. Her E, I think, right? That's her stim. If her stim was more than 2 seconds, if her stim was 4 seconds, she would be fucking really, really, really good. She'd be S tier. But the fact that she lacks mobility, her ult is trash, and her E is only 2 seconds, we're gonna leave her in A tier. Quang, I think, was hyper overrated by like every person when I first started playing the first few days. His Q, the cripple, is cool and can be useful, but outside of that specific 2 second instance, his whole kit just seems like trash to me. It doesn't do enough. It doesn't get prioritized. It's not a better frontline or warrior or initiator or anything than Rampage, than Grux, than Seraph, than Quang. Like there's no, or sorry, than Fang. There's no reason to play Quang in my mind. I don't think he's complete trash because he has some use, but I don't think he's very good. Shinbi is trash. Takes 30 minutes to get her damage online. She has no CC and she falls over. She doesn't do enough damage. Countess, pretty much Kalari level, maybe even C tier because her jungle clear is dog shit. I think she's the worst jungle clear out of anyone who's meant to be in the jungle. And then you have to get full build to truly one shot. And even then, you're full committing into the fights. Like, yeah, you can Q in, you can ult, you can E, and then you can Q back. You're not going to full 100 to 0 somebody with that 99% of the time. You're going to need to get off a poly auto or whatever the fucking ability in this game's called, where you get auto attack and it does magic damage. And if you're autoing in between those abilities, you won't be able to queue back as well as hit all your abilities. So you're either full committed to a kill or committed to like a half health poke into a disengage. So it depends on how the team fights are going. Like I said, her clear is bad. You're going to get run out in the jungle. You're going to get invaded. And then Steel is pretty much just kind of like a mid-tier support. I think his wall is useful. I think he's got, you know, decent mobility out of his dash. His ultimate just seems kind of meh. It's either a perfect wombo combo or trash, and in most games it's not going to be a perfect wombo combo when people are expecting it. So this would be my updated tier list. This game isn't balanced at all. Rangers are better than everything. Rangers beat everything. Who would I recommend for jungle? If Revenant's up, play Revenant every game. If Twin Blast is up, play Twin Blast. And then once you get past the Rangers, Chimera is really easy to play, but you need to build him a little tanky. Grux is really easy to play. You need to build him a little tanky. Rampage is really easy to play. You need to build him very tanky. If you're good and comfortable, you can play Wraith in the jungle, but you have no mobility. So if you're caught, you rely heavily on your E to save you, and you need to be able to fight. You need to have comms with somebody. You need to be having people rotating to you instantly. Murdoch gets banned every game, dude. Wraith is SS IMO. If you build him, auto attack crit. Nah, Mindy tested it. Auto attack crit's actually way worse than the mage build. Your autos don't hit as hard. You don't get any real damage until 3 items, so your early game is complete dog shit. I was a believer too of the auto attack build for Wraith, but after seeing it and seeing the mage build out of these top players, the mage build's way better. Your right click carries you. Your right click wins you the lane every single game, and then your E gets you your kills. Gideon jungle. I need to play. I want to play Howie and some more of them in the jungle a little bit more. But once again, Gideon's a mage, and you ult, and your ult either you die in your ult, it gets interrupted, or your team's already stomping and it doesn't matter. You need more supports.
Cancels it.
Yeah, like everything cancels all those fucking abilities. If you like support wise, play Decker, play Rampage, play Grux, play fucking FaZe. Play Steel. Like you have more support's kind of open to play a lot of shit. A lot of shit can be played. It's all about getting the right rangers or, you know, people that know what they're doing in ADC as your ADC. Playing this game makes you not want to touch Smite ever again. Yeah, you say that till the map changes next season.
Yeah. For the love of God, if you're in support and you're playing a mage, still go to the support starter. It's free fucking gold because you're not last hitting. It's free wards.
They need to balance this game ridiculously before you're talking about esports potential, to be honest. This game has no balance right now. It's heavily weighted towards Rangers are OP. Playing tanks is the next best thing for the most part. And it's not hard to play. And then there's one or two mages you can play. But once you get to late game, they are nowhere near as good as a Ranger.